This is one of 6 facilities across Pennsylvania. I think there may be a 7th on the horizon. Carlos and Jose and the incredible team here gave us an amazing tour. And I was on the campaign trail for a year. I made about 500 stops to different places, and over again I heard skilled labor. Great opportunity for, we can't grow because we can't get enough people with the right skills. And today we saw the answer to that question and that challenge with great programs for welders and HVAC and electricians and a variety of other key skills that Pennsylvania needs to grow and prosper. And this is a great model. It's got great public sector support, it's got great private sector support, and it gives people a path to great opportunity and great jobs. And so really excited to be here with my friend Smucker, who's been a real advocate of these programs. Anything you want to say, Lloyd?
Well, the Senator's exactly right. This has been a great program that has seen incredible growth because of the need that it's filled in the community. You talk to every business owner here, and they're looking for qualified folks to fill the positions that they have available. So Tec Centro has been a wonderful part of this community, provided those kind of opportunities, filled jobs that are available. And then this partnership with Thaddeus Stevens, I think many of us know how important Thaddeus Stevens has been to the community here for a long time as well. Many folks graduating from their program have received multiple job offers already and a great pay. We talked to one today, said he already had 5 job offers.
That was a great thing. Yeah. So, and listen, this program where you have people that are completing the program with an 85% completion rate and then getting jobs in the areas that they've studied with a 75% success rate, and then these are great paying jobs where their wage grows over time. This is exactly what we need in Pennsylvania, and this not only creates opportunity for individuals, this is what helps businesses grow. So this is really exciting. I'm anxious to visit some of the other centers and just want to compliment you all for this vision and this great leadership, and Thaddeus Stevens for the great partnership.
So Senator McCormick, obviously they're being taught here and they're learning their trade. Talking a little bit about President Trump's executive order yesterday dismantling the Department of Public Education. Now, there's a potential loss of over $1 billion of federal funding for disadvantaged and special education students here just in the Commonwealth. So how can the state succeed if those in most need of education are being left behind?
Well, I'd separate 2 things. I'd separate the funding that is going to go to states to support programs from this bureaucracy, the Department of Education. The Department of Education has been around for more than 45 years. And during that time, our education system, and this is mostly secondary education, our public schools, went from the best in the country, and best in the world, top of the world, to 30th. Our kids aren't learning all the things they need. So the key thing I think President Trump's trying to do is push the responsibility back to the states, back to the local communities. That's what's going to create great schools and great opportunity. Just as a good example, one of the people we talked to had participated in Tech schools and training because that was the appropriate path they wanted in high school. Well, we need to have lots of variation in our schools at the local level, lots of innovation to meet the needs of our students. The funding's a totally separate thing, and there's no expectation that I've been told that there's any cuts in the funding going to states and going to programs. It's just trying to get rid of the bureaucracy that's really failed our kids for decades.
Senator, this event was billed as an event to highlight the importance of bilingual workforce. Doesn't that kind of fly in the face of the message out of Washington with regards to DEI?
No, I don't think so. I mean, our country is a country of immigrants. My wife is an immigrant to this country. And so the key is to create a place that welcomes legal immigrants into our country, assimilates them into our culture, and also having a commonality around a language of English allows our workforce to be able to succeed across the board. So I think we need to have a country and a workforce that's welcoming of people from all and giving them the skills they need to succeed.
Right, but the Trump administration's message is, though, that we are to dismantle any programs, initiatives, even in the private sector, that are based on DEI, on equity and inclusion.
Well, everybody has a different interpretation of what DEI means. What the administration is trying to dismantle is programs that are not based on merit, programs that are pushing a progressive ideology, as opposed to something that's welcoming all Americans. And so I think what's happened in the previous administration and over a long time is the bureaucracy sort of took on a life of its own. Our country's investing in a lot of things that most Americans don't agree with. The elimination of DEI does not mean that we're eliminating or not welcoming diversity. Diversity can and should be embraced, but the DEI programs that are promoting an agenda that we've seen over the last couple of months, as it's been revealed, is what the administration is trying to stop.
Representative Smucker, we've been getting calls, and I'm sure you have, from so many constituents looking for town halls from their elected officials. They're not receiving a response. Do you think this is acceptable? Do you think those people who voted for you deserve to speak with you and hear from you?
Sure, absolutely, and we communicate with them all the time. I'm going to go back to this question, if I may. You know, I think what the Trump administration is trying to do is ensure that every American, regardless of their background, regardless of their race, has the opportunity to live the American dream. And that's what they're doing. The best way to do that, by the way, is create an economy that is creating jobs, that is creating the kind of opportunities that we see here, and then have programs like this who prepare students for those jobs that are available. So I think that's the focus of the Trump administration. But you know, we multiple ways that we interact with our constituents. We found that in-person town halls just simply are not productive because there are people that are intent on disrupting them, which is unfortunate for many who really would like to have a great dialogue. And so we have multiple ways that we communicate. We have hundreds of touches of communication with individuals on a daily basis. You just simply can't do this job effectively without being in constant touch with the people who have elected you to be their voice in Washington.
So whenever they're calling your office, they're not receiving a response. So that's not a town hall. How are you connecting with them?
They are receiving responses. Everybody that calls our office receives a response. But this is about the senator today. But happy to talk more about that. But you know, we're very, very proud of not only the communications that we have with our constituents on a regular basis, but also the work that we do to help them in many different ways, navigating federal bureaucracies and on and on.
Senator, you mentioned immigration in your first response, and Senator, maybe you want to chime in here too, but you know, there was an incident this month where ICE arrested 6 Vietnamese permanent residents in Central PA. There are other stories about Trump ordering hundreds of Venezuelans to be flown to El Salvador. Do you think the administration is taking its crackdown on immigration too far?
I don't know. I think that the president campaigned on a promise of returning illegal immigrants to their countries, securing the borders, and in particular focus on the drivers of violent crime, which were the Venezuelan gangs, or the sources of fentanyl, which were the cartels. And I think that required a real focus, and there's been enormous gains made on those goals. And that's a completely separate thing from a process of legal immigration, where people come into our country, are assimilated into our culture, and continue to make the American dream available for people not only here, but that enter our country legally.
Time for one more question.
Senator, with those proposed cuts to Medicaid in Washington right now, Governor Shapiro estimates 800,000 Pennsylvania residents would lose their health care coverage. Do you support these cuts? And if so, do you feel that you're harming the constituents who voted for you?
Well, first of all, I'm not aware of any proposed cuts to Medicaid. And so what my position is the same as what President Trump has said, which is we need to ensure that we protect the benefits that we have promised people in Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. But there's also enormous waste, fraud, and abuse. The Government Accountability Office, which is a nonpartisan or bipartisan group, estimated somewhere between $250 billion and $500 billion of waste, fraud, and abuse across the federal government. So we need to focus on that and do that with a lot of care, but not take away existing benefits.
With that waste, do you think DOJ is overstepping with its actions, and what is the end goal of the department?
Well, I think DOJ is revealing to the American people and American taxpayers that some of their money, maybe a lot of their money, is being spent in ways they didn't understand. So I've been a CEO of 2 companies. You can't come in and do a turnaround. We have a budget now that's $34 trillion, a debt rather, that's $34 trillion. We have a $2 trillion annual deficit. We've got to rein in spending, and we have a bureaucracy that has taken on a life of its own and implementing policies that aren't consistent with the priorities and the choices of the American people. So what DOJ is trying to do is reveal that, create transparency, and find opportunities. We need to do that in a way that when you make big, bold moves, you recognize you're going to make some mistakes. So you have to have a way to self-correct and make quick changes if we make mistakes, and I know they're committed to doing that. And then I think we need to treat the people that are unfortunately leaving the government, because we added 400,000 new federal employees just in the last 4 years. If people are going to transition out of the federal government. We need to treat them with respect and gratitude, thank them for their service, but we need to have a smaller government, more effective government, and that's what DOGE is about.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Yes, let me take my microphone.